Hey everybody, this video is part of our free online course on how to become a construction cost estimator in 90 days. If you like the video, click the link in the description to get the full course for free. Now we understand what an estimator does, we can look at what skills you need to master to become a construction estimator. The best place to start looking at what these skills are is at some job postings. You can easily find these yourselves on LinkedIn by searching for construction estimator jobs in your area. We'll focus on the role responsibilities expected of each applicant. For the first job, the role responsibilities are compiling competitive tender documentation, accurate BOQ estimates and reports for general manager and CEO, create the company's built-up rates from first principles and adjusting ongoingly, maintaining products and pricing in our estimating system, complete tender submission documents, have ability to clearly detail all risks at tender time to clients, follow up on submitted tender bids, preparation of scope of works, complete takeoff for construction estimates, liaise with suppliers for pricing, and provide contract QS breakdowns and documents to project teams, assisting them with variation and design change pricings. In this application, we can see that they clearly want estimating skills, but also want the candidate to have an understanding of contracts, procurement, and risk management. In this second job posting, the company is looking for an estimator that will be involved in managing and coordinating tenders, cost planning, liaising with clients, subcontractors, and suppliers, review, develop, and approve tender lists, vetting of subcontractor and supplier lists, prepare bill of quantities and cost plans, develop final estimates, preparation of tender forms, submissions, and letters, and assist project staff with contract letting. Again, while they want an estimator, they also need an understanding of contracts and procurement. The third job advert is for a civil estimator role. The role requirements are to provide confident and competent leadership on cost estimation of small, medium, and large-scale projects, liaise with the management staff to ensure accurate cost estimation and tender evaluation, quoting and tender research, quantity takeoffs, tender preparation, submission and follow-up, analysis and review of project results, negotiating with customers, suppliers, and subcontractors, and site inspections. Again, you can see they want somebody who knows how to estimate but can also manage contracts and the overall tender process. From these job applications, it is incredibly clear that there is more to being a great estimator than just estimating costs. Estimators need a diverse skill set to excel at their jobs. A great estimator will master estimation, contracts, procurement, and scheduling. I'll now go through and explain each of these skills and why mastering them is so important to an estimator's job role. I probably don't need to spend much time explaining why estimation is an important skill to master as an estimator. It goes without saying that estimators need to know how to estimate costs. This means you know how to develop comprehensive cost estimates that cover the entire project scope. You understand the estimating process, can prepare first principle estimates, measure key quantities, apply production rates, compile subcontract and supplier pricing, and also know how to estimate indirect costs. This will be the core skill you need to master to excel at your job. Being able to read and interpret contracts form a critical part of an estimator's day-to-day job. Contracts matter because contracts define what we are pricing. The estimate will ultimately form a key component of a construction contract, referred to as the contract sum. As an estimator, what we are really doing is preparing the estimate of the fixed fee for the contract. To do this, we need to be able to read and interpret the contract so we understand what we are pricing. The terms and conditions of the contract can have a big impact on the estimate. For example, if the contract specifies liquidated damages of $1,500 per day, then this is a commercial risk that needs to be factored into the estimate. Procurement is the next skill we need to master. The procurement process is the process within which we prepare an estimate. As a contractor preparing a tender submission, we are working within the client's procurement process. It is important to understand this process to better understand the role of the estimate. Additionally, procurement is the process we need to follow to get subcontractor and supplier pricing, particularly for large general contractors who subcontract out a significant portion of the project scope. Getting accurate and realistic pricing from subcontractors will be critical to preparing an overall accurate cost estimate. We follow the procurement process to get these quotes from subcontractors, so we need to make sure we understand and can implement the process. Finally, to be a great estimator, you need to understand scheduling. That's because on a construction project, time equals money. The quicker you understand that, the quicker you will properly understand estimating. The schedule significantly impacts project costs. This is through both the direct costs of doing the works, which are impacted by the overall staging and delivery methodology, and through the project's indirect costs, which are impacted by the overall project duration. If we understand how to develop a schedule, we understand how to deliver a project and then can accurately work out and also optimize how much the project will cost. As you can see, there is more to being a great estimator than simply completing quantity takeoffs and multiplying them by unit rates. Estimators need a diverse skill set to be able to read and interpret contracts, manage procurement, and understand schedules.